Hi everyone, it's Darlene. Welcome back for another card video. Today I have a really fun Christmas card for you. It's made with the Watts of Occasion set. I just got it from Stampin' Up. It's actually more than just Christmas, which is why I got it. I'm also using this pretty old chevron background stamp by Hero Arts and my nesting circles from We Are Memory Keepers. So I'm going to start with my mini Misty. I'm going to put my light bulb in the middle. I'm using a piece of Canson XL mixed media paper. I'm stamping with VersaFine Black Onyx ink. It's a black pigment ink so that I can put clear embossing powder over it, heat it to set it, and it's as if I had used black embossing powder. Now I'm going to take my Versamark ink, I'm going to mask over my light bulb and apply my Versamark just to the bottom of the bulb here because I want it to be silver. That's some metal for the Metallics Challenge here. And so I'm going to put it right on top of the black, and because it's silver on black, it's going to cover the black. But for some reason I had a hole in my embossing powder. It's really weird how that happened. I'm not sure. You can see it's sort of a bumpy hole right there. So to fix it, I'm going to take my Versamarker, which is a really handy tool to have, and I'm just going to color over that missing spot, cover it with some silver embossing powder, and heat it to set it, and it worked just fine. So I've got this really nice shiny bottom to my bulb. And now I'm going to grab my distress markers. I have Pine Needles, Mowed Lawn, and Twisted Citron. And you can see this one is really dried out, but I use it anyway, and it works just fine. So I'm going to take my Pine Needles and go along the left edge, the right edge, then I'm also going to add a little bit to the bottom there. And then I'll take the Mowed Lawn and kind of pull that in toward the middle and across the bottom. And then my Twisted Citron, I am overlapping these colors just a little bit. Now I'm going to take my Aqua Painter and a tissue just in case I need it. I always keep one handy. And I'm really just going to drop water on top of these colors, and they're really going to do the blending themselves. I'm really not going to do a lot of big blending, so I'm just trying to keep my brush localized to the colors so that they don't get too close and together so that it looks like it's one color. I want it to definitely look like it's darker on the edges. So I'm using my tissue just in case I get too much pine needles, which can spread out pretty quickly, and I don't want it to get too dark in the middle. And just kind of work it around until it looks the way I want it. So it does definitely look like a watercolor look. I was really happy with the way that looked. All right, so now I'm going to take gathered twigs for my bark. I'm just going to color a line down the left side, and then I'll take my Aqua Painter and just sort of blend it a little bit, but not too much because I want to keep it lighter on the right than on the left. And that's all the coloring I'm going to do. I have this Delicata ink pad. It's a gold ink pad made by Sukaneko. And I'm going to use that to have these sort of rays coming out of the bulb. So I'm using my Stamp-A-Majig because these stamps are not clear, so I can't really see where I'm stamping. So I'm using my Stamp-A-Majig to align everything. I'm going to position my first one at the very top of the bulb, and it gives me 3 rays here. And then I'll take my Stamp-A-Majig sheet and I'll move it to the right, the same distance so that it looks like it's all one stamp. And I'll put my handle right in there and stamp it again. So I'm going to stamp 2 to the right and 2 to the left of the center one, and they're going to look like they're going around the bulb. And so here's my last one. It's a really pretty gold ink. You get a really nice impression with it. I have this holiday shape die. It seems bigger on the package, but it's actually pretty small. And I'm going to use this with some American Crafts gold glitter paper. You can see I'm very frugal about my scraps. And so I'm using the second largest. I'll put some 2A glue at the top of this tree, and I'm using my tweezers to hold this gold star while I put it right there at the top. So I've got some even more metallic here with that. I really want the focal point of my card to be this tree, so I'm going to make my background really simple and subtle. I'm going to do some tone on tone, so I'm going to ink up my stamp with some Fog ink by Simon Says Stamp, and then I have a piece of Fog cardstock, and I'm just going to place that over it. And I usually get a scrap piece of paper and make sure I get good coverage, and then I flip it over onto my craft mat. Now I went ahead and cut this 1/4 of an inch from the top, so it's only 4 inches high at this point. Now I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to measure 2 inches, which is right in the middle. And then I have this black strip that I've cut to about 1.25 inches or so. And I'm going to eyeball it according to this center line across the middle of the card. And then I'm going to secure it in place with a piece of surgical tape. And then I'm going to lay my 2 3/4 inch circle a little bit left of center centered up and down with that black strip. So what I'm going to do is take the middle pieces out, and I'll keep the left and right black pieces. I'm using the holiday sentiment that comes with the set, and again I'm setting it up with my Stamp-A-Majig. I use VersaFine a lot with my Stamp-A-Majig just because it cleans up easily. And then I'm going to stamp it for real with the Versamark ink and put some white embossing powder and heat it to set it. And then I'm going to take some ATG tape runner and put it on the back of this side, and then I'll take the other little piece and put some tape runner on the back of it and put it on the left side. Now I'll flip this over. I'm going to add a bunch of Scotch foam tape, and then I'll kind of hover it over the bulb until it's centered, and then I'll lay it flat and press it down. And then I'm going to add some more adhesive to the back of the light bulb piece and adhere it to a Hero Arts note card that's black on the outside and white on the inside. And that is the card for today. So pretty clean and simple card. I really like the black and green for the holiday card. Stampin' Up! Has a lot of that in their new catalog. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.